Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the world of Jefferson nickels, specifically the top 9 Monticello 5-cent nickels that are making waves in today's coin market. If you're a coin collector or just curious about these iconic coins, you're in the right place. Let's get started. First up, the 1942 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with a large P mint mark. This coin is not just any nickel, it's a piece of history that has garnered significant attention in today's auction markets. If you're a collector or simply curious about the value of old coins, you're in for a treat. First, let's set the stage with a bit of history. The Jefferson nickel series was first introduced in 1938, and it has remained a staple in American coinage ever since. The 1942 Jefferson nickel is particularly interesting because it was struck during World War II. Due to the wartime demand for nickel, the U.S. Mint made a significant change by producing nickels with a composition of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese, rather than the standard 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy. This change gave rise to what collectors refer to as war nickels. One of the standout features of the 1942 Jefferson nickel is the large P mint mark, which is prominently displayed above Monticello on the reverse side of the coin. This was the first time in U.S. coinage history that a Philadelphia minted coin bore a mint mark. The large P not only indicates where the coin was minted, but also serves as a reminder of the nation's wartime efforts. Now, let's talk about the specific coin we're focusing on today, the 1942 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in black color and dirty condition. The condition of a coin plays a crucial role in determining its value, and this one is no exception. Coins in dirty or corroded conditions are typically less desirable to collectors compared to those in mint or uncirculated condition. However, there's a growing interest among certain collectors who appreciate the historical and aesthetic value of coins that have aged naturally. The black color and dirt on the coin could indicate prolonged exposure to environmental elements, which can add a unique character to the piece. While this condition might lower the coin's grade, it doesn't necessarily diminish its appeal or value, especially if the coin has other desirable attributes, like a clear and visible mint mark. So, what is this coin worth in today's auction market? The value of a 1942 Jefferson nickel with P mint mark in black color and dirty condition can vary widely depending on several factors, including the severity of the dirt and discoloration, the clarity of the mint mark, and overall demand among collectors. As of now, a 1942 Jefferson nickel with a P mint mark in very fine condition can fetch anywhere from $387,000. However, in black color and dirty condition, the value might be slightly lower, ranging from $400,000. That said, coins with unique patinas or signs of aging can sometimes attract niche collectors, pushing the price higher in specific auctions. If you have one of these coins, I recommend getting it appraised by a professional before selling or buying, as the market for such coins can be unpredictable. Additionally, keeping an eye on recent auction results can give you a better idea of what collectors are currently willing to pay. Next up, Jefferson nickels, focusing on a special piece from 1947. If you're a collector or just curious about coin values, this video is for you. We're going to explore the market value of the 1947 Monticello 5-cent Jefferson nickel with a large date and no mint mark in fine condition. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1947 Jefferson nickel was minted shortly after World War II, a time when the U.S. was returning to normalcy. This coin features the iconic image of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his famous home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically did not place a mint mark on their coins during this period. Now, let's talk about the specific characteristics of this coin. The 1947 Jefferson nickel with a large date is identifiable by the prominent size of the date on the obverse. In fine condition, this means the coin shows considerable wear, but all major details, like Jefferson's profile and Monticello, are still visible. This condition is quite common among circulated coins, but the value can still be noteworthy for collectors. So, what is this coin worth today? As of the latest auction data, a 1947 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition typically sells for around $26,000. While this might not seem like a huge sum, it's important to remember that the value can vary depending on factors like demand, the auction platform, and the specific details of the coin's condition. Sometimes, these coins can fetch a bit more if they have unique characteristics or appeal to a particular collector's interest. While the 1947 Jefferson nickel might not make you rich, it's a great example of post-war American coinage and a valuable piece for any collection. Keep an eye out for these coins, especially if they're in better condition or have special features that could increase their value. Next up, uncovering the value of a specific Jefferson nickel, the 1994 large date with a D mint mark, particularly in bad condition. If you're a numismatist or just curious about rare coins, you're in for a treat. So, let's get started. The 1994 Jefferson nickel is a notable coin for collectors, not because of any unique design or error, but because of its place in the broader context of American coinage. The Jefferson nickel, first minted in 1938, has had numerous variations over the decades. However, the 1994 issue is relatively straightforward, featuring a standard design by Felix Schlage with Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello on the reverse. Now, let's zero in on the 1994 large date with the D mint mark. This large date refers to the size of the digits on the coin's date. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted at the Denver Mint. For this episode, we're focusing on the 1994 Jefferson nickel in bad condition. Coins in poor condition are often less valuable, but they can still hold interest for collectors, especially those looking to complete a set or interested in less than perfect specimens. Bad condition typically means that the coin shows significant wear, scratches, and possibly discoloration. So, what's the value of this particular coin in today's auction market? Generally, coins in bad condition are valued less than those in higher grades. For the 1994 large date Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark, in bad condition, you can expect it to fetch between $8,000 at auction. To put this in perspective, coins in mint or near mint condition can be worth significantly more. For example, a pristine 1994 nickel might be valued around $9,000 depending on the exact grade and market demand. However, as with most coins in bad condition, the value is modest. Let's look at a few auction examples. In recent auctions, similar coins in bad condition have sold for $10,000. The variation in price can often be attributed to the specific details of the coin, such as the degree of wear or any unusual marks. So, if you come across a 1994 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in bad condition, don't expect it to be worth a fortune. However, it still holds value for collectors and enthusiasts. Every coin has a story and can contribute to a larger collection or study of American numismatics. Next up, the 1971 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel without a mint mark, specifically in fine condition. The Jefferson nickel series has been in circulation since 1938, featuring the iconic portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. The 1971 Jefferson nickel is part of this long-running series, and like many coins from that era, it doesn't have a mint mark if it was produced in Philadelphia. Coins minted in Philadelphia before 1980 generally did not carry a mint mark, which is why you won't see one on this 1971 nickel. Although millions were minted, only a fraction have survived the years in collectible condition, making the finer examples highly sought after in today's market. For those new to coin collecting, grading is crucial in determining a coin's value. Today, we're focusing on the 1971 Jefferson nickel in fine condition. A coin in fine condition shows moderate wear, with the design still clear and distinct but showing some softness on the higher points, such as Jefferson's hair and Monticello's dome. While it's not the highest grade, fine condition still indicates that the coin has retained a significant amount of detail, making it desirable for collectors. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: the value. The value of a 1971 Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition can vary based on factors like demand, rarity, and the overall coin market. However, as of today's auction market, you might expect this coin to fetch anywhere from $64,000. While this may seem modest compared to other rare coins, it's important to remember that the Jefferson nickel series is a beloved staple among collectors. Its historical significance and the nuances in design and minting make even lower-grade coins like this one valuable in their own right. So why is the 1971 Jefferson nickel, without a mint mark in fine condition, still valuable to collectors? For one, it represents a piece of American history, the coin's age, and the story it tells from the early 1970s era add to its allure. Additionally, finding this specific year in fine condition isn't as common as you might think. Many of these nickels were used in everyday transactions, which means most of them are heavily worn or damaged. In conclusion, while the 1971 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition might not make you a millionaire, it's certainly a worthy addition to any collection. It's a reminder of a bygone era and a testament to the enduring appeal of American coinage. If you have one of these in your collection, it's always exciting to hold a piece of history in your hands, knowing that it has survived the test of time. Next up, exploring one of the most intriguing and valuable Jefferson nickels, the 1969 large date with the D-era mint mark in fine condition. So, let's get right into it. The 1969 Jefferson nickel is part of a series that many collectors keep a keen eye on, especially when it comes to era coins. The large date version of this coin, with its distinctive mint mark, has garnered significant attention over the years. But what exactly makes the 1969 large date D-era nickel so valuable? Let's break it down. Firstly, let's discuss the large date variety. In 1969, the US Mint produced both large date and small date versions of the Jefferson nickel. The large date is characterized by its more prominent numerals, which are noticeably larger compared to the small date variety. This variation is a key identifier for collectors. Now, let's talk about the D-Mint mark era. The Denver Mint, which produced these coins, mistakenly applied the mint mark to some of the coins in a way that resulted in an error. In this particular case, the error involves misalignment or doubling of the mint mark. These errors are less common, making them quite sought after in the numismatic world. Coins with errors like these can dramatically increase in value. So what about the 1969 large date D-era nickel in fine condition? Fine condition means the coin shows signs of wear but still retains most of its details, including the distinctive features of the era. While it may not be as pristine as higher grades, it's still highly collectible. In today's auction market, the value of a 1969 large date D-era nickel in fine condition can vary based on factors like rarity and demand. However, you can typically expect this coin to fetch between $100,000. Prices can fluctuate, so it's always a good idea to check recent sales and auction results for the most accurate valuation. If you're lucky enough to have one of these era coins in your collection, make sure to handle it with care. Proper storage and handling will help preserve its value and ensure that it remains a valuable part of your numismatic collection. Next up, the value of the 1944 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with a large date and a large P mint mark in fine condition. If you're a collector or just curious about coin values, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. The 1944 Jefferson nickel is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history. During World War II, the US Mint was faced with a shortage of nickel, a critical material for wartime production. To address this, the Mint altered the composition of the nickel. From 1942 to 1945, Jefferson nickels were struck in a unique alloy of copper, silver, and manganese. The 1944 version of this coin is particularly interesting for collectors. The coin features Thomas Jefferson's profile on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. This year is significant because it falls within the period of wartime nickel production. The P mint mark, located above the Monticello building, signifies that the coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The large date refers to the larger size of the numbers in the date compared to other years. In fine condition, the 1944 P large date Jefferson nickel will show wear but retain a substantial amount of detail. The coin should have noticeable yet moderate wear on the high points of the design, with the features still distinguishable. Now, let's talk value. The price of a 1944 Jefferson nickel in fine condition can vary depending on several factors, including overall market demand and the specific attributes of the coin. As of today's market, a 1944 P large date nickel in fine condition generally fetches between $235,000. However, prices can fluctuate. For instance, well-preserved examples with fewer scratches or more pronounced details might command a higher price. Collectors are particularly interested in coins that retain a good balance of historical significance and aesthetic appeal. One of the reasons this coin is valued is its connection to a unique period in American history, the wartime years when materials were rationed and repurposed. This adds an extra layer of historical importance to the coin. If you have this coin or are considering adding it to your collection, it's always a good idea to consult with a reputable coin dealer or get it appraised to determine its exact value in today's market. Next up, the 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in fine condition. Let's get started. The 1964 Jefferson nickel is a notable coin in the realm of U.S. numismatics. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin features the iconic profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, on the reverse. While the 1964 nickel is not particularly rare in itself, its value can vary significantly depending on its condition and specific mint marks. So what makes the 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark special? Well, it's all about the coin's condition and the specifics of the market today. Coins in fine condition exhibit noticeable wear but still retain their overall details and readability. For this particular nickel, fine means the coin has some wear on the high points, but the design elements are still relatively clear. In the context of today's auction market, a 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark in fine condition typically falls into a specific price range. As of now, this coin can fetch anywhere from $51,000 depending on factors like overall eye appeal, luster, and any unique characteristics. Coins with higher grade conditions can command more substantial prices, but fine condition coins still hold value for collectors. Recent auction results show that well-preserved examples of the 1964 Jefferson nickel with a D mint mark in fine condition have seen prices on the higher end of this spectrum. For instance, some coins have sold for approximately $62,000 at auction, reflecting their desirability among collectors who appreciate the nuances of Jefferson nickels and their historical context. If you're considering buying or selling a 1964 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark, it's crucial to factor in the coin's condition and current market trends. Always make sure to get a professional evaluation to ensure you're getting the best value possible. Next up, the 1942 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel in fine condition. Specifically, we'll be focusing on the large date variety of this coin without a mint mark. If you're passionate about coin collecting or just curious about its market value, you're in the right place. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1942 Jefferson nickel is part of a series minted during World War II. The United States was facing a shortage of nickel due to wartime demands, which led to the production of silver nickels starting in late 1942. However, before this transition, the 1942 Jefferson nickel was minted in its usual composition. The coin features a prominent depiction of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, on the obverse, and a detailed image of Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia estate. On the reverse, the 1942 issue is particularly noteworthy due to the transition to the wartime nickel composition, making pre-war examples like the one we're discussing quite significant to collectors. Within the 1942 Jefferson nickel series, there are two distinct date varieties, the large date and the small date. The large date variety is characterized by larger, more prominent numerals on the date. This difference is subtle but important to collectors, as it adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1942 large-date Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition. Fine condition, often abbreviated as F in numismatic terms, signifies that the coin is well worn but still retains most of its details. The coin will exhibit moderate to significant wear, with some detail loss, especially on the highest points of the design. However, the primary features of the coin should still be visible. As of today, the market value for a 1942 large-date Jefferson nickel without a mint mark in fine condition generally ranges from $20,000. This range can fluctuate based on factors such as the specific level of wear, overall eye appeal, and current demand collectors. In the auction market, this coin can sometimes command higher prices if it stands out in terms of its preservation or unique attributes. Coins in better than fine condition, or those with exceptional eye appeal, might fetch prices exceeding the average range. Conversely, those with more significant wear or damage might fall below the lower end of the range. In summary, the 1942 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with the large date and no mint mark is a notable piece of American numismatic history. In fine condition, it holds a respectable value in today's market, ranging between $25,000 whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out. This coin represents a fascinating chapter in American coinage. Next up, the 1939 Monticello 5 cents Jefferson nickel with a large date and no mint mark in fine condition. We'll explore its value in today's auction market, providing insights for collectors and enthusiasts alike. The 1939 Jefferson nickel is part of the Monticello series, which was introduced in 1938 to commemorate Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. Designed by Felix Schlag, these coins feature a portrait of Jefferson on the obverse and an image of his home, Monticello, on the reverse. The 1939 issue is noteworthy for its large date design, which is a key point of interest among collectors. This version of the coin, characterized by its more pronounced date, represents a transitional design in the early years of the series. The large date variety of the 1939 nickel is distinguished by its larger, more prominent numerals compared to the small date variety. This variation occurred due to a change in the design used for striking the coins. Collectors often seek out the large date variety because it is relatively rarer and more visually distinctive. Now, let's talk value. In fine condition, the 1939 large date nickel without a mint mark holds particular interest for numismatists. Coins in fine condition exhibit noticeable wear, but they still retain much of their detail and overall structure. As of today, the value of a 1939 Jefferson nickel in fine condition ranges between $78,000. The price can fluctuate based on market demand, coin rarity, and the quality of the specific piece. Coins in higher grades can command even more, but fine condition pieces are still highly desirable. In the auction market, the 1939 large date nickel without a mint mark is a sought-after item. Recent auction results show that prices can vary depending on the provenance of the coin, its overall appearance, and the reputation of the auction house. Coins with better eye appeal or those with a notable pedigree might exceed the average price range. For collectors looking to acquire or sell this coin, it's important to stay informed about current market trends and recent sales. Monitoring auction results and consulting with numismatic experts can provide valuable insights and help in making informed decisions. The 1939 Monticello nickel with a large date and no mint mark in fine condition remains a valuable piece for collectors. Its unique design and historical significance contribute to its appeal, making it a prized item in the world of numismatics. Whether you're looking to add it to your collection or assess its value for selling, understanding its market value is crucial. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, happy collecting.